Hey, what's up? Jordan here. I wanted to show you my old rig. You might have seen this before if you watched some of my other videos, but this is what I've got now, so I don't know if I can flip this around. Yeah. So right now I've got this extremely simple mixing rig, a couple of NS10s, control surface, Apogee Duet, distressor, which I don't use in the mix. I just don't get rid of it because I love it, and central station monitor controller. And that's it. That's what I mix on now. But again, I was looking at my closet, and man, it's funny remembering or looking back, or it's actually not so funny. It's kind of painful looking back at the rig that I used to have. By the way, before I forget, I'm doing a series of live trainings, live webinars called 3 Production Secrets They Don't Teach in Audio School. Basically just covering 3 of kind of the big aha moments that I had that really took my work to the next level, and just giving you those tips for free. That's if you go to hardcoremusicstudio.com, the link should be on this page, and click on the little Get Started button at the top. That'll take you to the page to sign up for the next webinar that's happening. So check it out, see if any of the upcoming times work for you. But anyways, let me flip this around. Look at my closet here. Excuse the mess, the gym bags and stuff, but down here, this is my old Mac Pro that I have. This is from my old studio that I used to track and mix in for many years, almost 10 years I think. Inside this tower here is a Pro Tools HD 2 XL rig, 2 of those cards. Here's an old hard drive, I don't know what's on there. Here's the DigiDesign 192IO interface. Converter there, and I don't know if you can see up here. These are the HS80s, the Yamahas that I used to mix and record on. So all this gear in my closet here, let me see if I can get down here. This computer with the HD2 cards, plus this, there it is, 192IO. At the time when I bought them, probably cost over 10 grand combined. 10 grand combined for that stuff, and it worked at the time. I mean, those of you who have been doing this for a while, you know what I'm talking about. The prices of gear has just gone down so much. So that was my old Pro Tools HD2 XL rig. Cost me about $10,000 to get started on that. Now, again, let's see what I'm mixing on. This guy, Apogee Duet, $1,000 or something like that. That goes into my central station, which comes out my NS10s, and that's it. And I use this little guy. No audio in here, just a fancy mouse, you could say. Just helps me automate with physical faders instead of using the mouse, which I hate doing. So that's my mixing rig now. So it's pretty crazy now. When I first moved out of my old studio, where I made a bunch of the key records in my discography, I was pretty nervous when I moved to start mixing at home, because man, I went to from a dedicated control room studio environment with this fancy pants expensive Pro Tools rig and custom treatment. I had a ceiling cloud above me, all that stuff, to just a spare bedroom in my house. And the first record I mixed was for Nick Johnston, and I had already mixed one of his records, and then I mixed the next one for him, and I was pretty nervous because first thing I was mixing, really first important release I was mixing in this new space. Here's the crazy thing is he emailed me during that mix process and said, dude, these are the best mixes I've ever heard for one of his projects. And remember, I had mixed the other one. So he's saying those bedroom mixes were better than my fancier studio mixes. And man, I gotta say, the more I kept mixing in this just spare bedroom environment, minimalist setup, you can see I do have a little bit of treatment, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 of these Owens Corning 703 style panels. Guys, I'm getting better mixes, and for a couple of years now I have been getting better mixes in a space like this than I was at my other studio. A couple factors that I think go into that. Number one, I went from those HS80s you saw to these NS10s. Oh, by the way, here's my power amp down here. I don't know if you can see it right there. Yamaha power amp, everyone always asks. The reason why this works is the NS10s, they really force you to get a good mid-range, and that helps you translate across all different systems. And then secondly, here's the thing is we think that we need a perfect listening environment to hear everything properly in the mix. And I don't know, there's some merit to that. It's like you can't fix a problem you can't hear. If you can't hear it in a normal environment, it's not a problem. So I think mixing out of the bedroom on just one pair of very unflattering speakers at home with kids running around being loud and stuff, just normal household stuff going on, it actually helps me to ignore all the things in the mix that don't, all the little things where like you could get lost of like tweaking a kick drum sound a half a dB at a time for like 2 hours. That doesn't happen anymore. Like I'm competing with ambient noise in the house, my kids, like I said, and so I got to make big moves. So basically how I've overcome all that is I just mix a lot more aggressively now. And so I'll make bigger EQ moves, bigger compression moves, bigger automation moves. Sometimes I push it a little too far and then I have to kind of dial it back. But the end result is I'm actually ending up with more exciting mixes. And because my environment isn't perfect, because I'm competing with that just ambient noise level and different sounds that are happening outside or in the house or whatever, that's forcing me to make bigger moves and make sure that the moves I am making matter, that they're big enough, that they're loud enough, all that stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. I never expected this. And I've got to confess, I think when I was back, 6-7 years ago in that old studio, some of the other guys, in my area, they'd be just recording out of their basements or just their house or whatever with no treatment and stuff, and I would kind of look down on it being like, man, that's not a real studio, like you can't make good records there. And I got to take all that back, because now I do mix records. Just mixed a record a couple months ago that will be released soon, I hope, and I'm really happy with it. And man, it's crazy how you can go from this big fat rig over here to this and this, and actually get better mixes. So it's not all about the space, it's not all about the gear, it's about what you got up here, and actually sometimes having less desirable environments, circumstances can actually push you to deliver better quality work. So just wanted to share that little message. Thought it was funny looking back at this expensive old gear here that maybe I can use as, I don't know, like a doorstop, or maybe I'll make a statue or something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Ryan, maybe let me know. I'm hanging on to it just in case I need to do recalls, but probably the time is coming when I need to get rid of this stuff. So anyways, guys, like I said, hit hardcoremusicstudio.com, click the little get started button at the top if you want to jump into my next live training, where I kind of go more behind the curtain and show you some really big tips that have helped me in my recording, editing, and mixing journey, kind of the big breakthroughs I made. Again, at the get started button at hardcoremusicstudio.com. But thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you guys later.